Hello everyone, welcome back to the POV With Dom podcast. My name is Dom, thank you for listening. It's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, I hope you're having a nice day so far. This episode is going to be vastly different to the usual comical, stuff that I put out, and it's just me and you. We're on a little date, imagine it. And I wanted to kind of go through Valentine's Day, my opinion of it, self-love, and various things. Okay, I haven't really got a plan for this episode, but I know I want to make it Valentine's Day themed. It's the 14th of February when this episode drops, and you can hear it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify first, and then on Sunday 18th is when the YouTube video will drop on the POV With Dom podcast channel. Now, for a lot of us, Valentine's Day, we view it as a day where relationships are universally celebrated, and being in a couple is the best thing in the world, and having a partner is the end goal. And in recent years, some would say that Valentine's Day has been hugely commercialized, where brands would basically do campaigns. Hell, even I've done campaigns for Valentine's Day before for my own work. However, one thing that I've recently realized is I saw a TikTok video of one of these like chainmail videos, and it was like this video, if not your Valentine's Day, you're going to be single. And it had like about 500,000 likes. All the comments of people just saying, claiming, I want a boyfriend by Valentine's Day. And I feel like too many of us think we'll be complete when we have a relationship with someone. When if you go deeper inside, hear me out here, the best life you can live is when you are in a relationship with yourself first before anyone else. I myself was someone who was very guilty of, I'm going to be happy when I'm in a relationship. I'm going to be happy when I have a partner. And you vision it in your head, and Valentine's Day is a reminder of, oh fuck, I'm single. I'm not really out there at the moment. I don't have anyone who loves me back. Whatever. What I'm trying to get at is Valentine's Day should be seen, or at least I'm seeing it this year, as an excuse to love myself. I've booked a restaurant reservation. I'm going to take myself out on a date. I'm going to go clothes shopping. In the morning, I'm working with all my managers at the office, and then I've got some acting stuff to do in the afternoon, and I'm seeing my acting agent. I've got things to do tomorrow. I've made sure that the day is busy, where I'm not home alone all day and groveling and being bleh. I have work to do, and I'm working toward my goals and my careers, because ultimately that is everything I want for me to flourish and be successful while also getting to love myself. And I feel like at this point in my life, the universe doesn't want me to have a relationship with anyone because I'm so busy. For example, 2 weeks ago, I was in Iceland. Last week, I was in LA. This week, I have things every single day. I'm booked and busy, and I love it. I heard the saying, busy is a blessing, from my friend Tam when we did a conference talk a few months ago, and it's stuck with me. So I would like to say, for those that are worried about Valentine's Day, if you're really scared for today, thinking it's not going to go well, I'm really deeping it, keeping yourself busy is a very good thing to do. But circling back to my main point, self-love is critical. A lot of us push it aside and think, no, actually, when I have a boyfriend, I'll be happier. When I have £1 million, I'll be happier. Once you find core happiness within yourself, and I've read several self-help books, I've watched several YouTube videos, I've seen several documentaries, the most happiest people that you'll ever meet on this planet usually are not the richest financially, but they are abundantly rich with self-love and stoicism and stuff like that. And there's people often look at stoicism in two different lights, but I am a stoicism fan. I'm a big fan of that girl. She's great. And I also like to apply that self-discipline to myself. There's so many attributes on living a good and healthy life, and a lot of people associate that with having a relationship or money or something that's not necessarily theirs in that moment. You could have everything you ever want, and people don't see that. Especially with the recent rise of popularity over on TikTok, people have assumed that once they have XYZ, they'll be happy. And one thing that I've recently learned is I'm happy as is. I'm happy with whatever I have, whatever the outcome is. I'm literally training my brain to stop caring about the outcome. Because one thing that really crashes me a lot of the time is expectations. You hold expectations of someone and they let you down, or you get hurt, or they're not the person you thought they were, or when you get to that stage, it's not what you dreamed of. There's so many story tropes in media that you guys can relate this to. But for example, a lot of the time, and I can guarantee a lot of the viewers listening to this will agree, a lot of us expect when we have a boyfriend or girlfriend or partner, our life will be infinitely better. That's not the case. This partner could be abusive. This partner could be toxic for you. This partner could be not give you enough attention and make you doubt yourself more. There's so many reasons why you're not in a relationship right now. But one thing you should do instantly is celebrate that. You shouldn't try and force it and try and jump from man to man to man to man, because you will not grow by yourself. And the most valuable lesson that I learned in the past year when I went through my first heartbreak, I wasn't even in a full-on relationship. We were never the title of in a relationship. It was just a very sort of progressed exclusivity situationship. I don't know, it was so confusing. But I know that because of how damaging that was, I learned to love myself and be like, do you want to know what? It wouldn't have been good if it worked out. Because I was putting in a lot of effort. He couldn't do anything more than he was offering. Why would I force myself to do this? And this was a man who, no offense, I love very dearly, but Valentine's Day last year, I asked to see him and he said, I finished work at 5. And I said, okay, do you want to see me in the evening? I can come to you. No, I did not see him on Valentine's Day. And it crushed me. It was so, I went home and cried. I was so upset. And that is the disrespect that I took. And a lot of you guys take on a daily, purely because you think you're better off in a relationship. Now, this is quite a vicious podcast episode, but I'm trying to get it through to you that the most valuable and the most rich you can be in any sense, fuck financial stuff. You can be rich and abundant with self-love if you choose yourself over anybody else. Because one thing about me growing up, because I was so anxious and there was a proper need in me to be liked and validated. Whenever I am, I feel great, and I had a proper craving for it, and I wouldn't feel good until I felt, wanted or appreciated or validated. So in this situationship, all I would do would be make sure that I was wanted. And sometimes I wouldn't feel wanted because I'd expect him to reach out and ask to see me, but that wasn't the case. I would do all the reaching out and asking to see him. Not that that's a bad thing. Sometimes relationship dynamics work like that, but for me, I want someone to want me as much as I want them. And that is something that I've learned. So another thing that's coming into my head right now is that relationships and connections, good or bad, are lessons. And a lot of us don't learn from them. We get lesson after lesson after lesson, and a lot of you could be like, oh, woe is me, why is my life so bad, why do I keep attracting the bad people? Because you're literally being sent a personified lesson and you're not learning from it. You are not giving yourself the time, the space, and the energy to grow yourself up. And with 2024, the term situationship is so rife. So many people are in situationships. I hate to break it to you, bestie, but get out of them. Get out of them. Do not give them the satisfaction of a relationship, all the benefits of a relationship, but you're not in one. Unless you're truly happy in one, unless you're really chill with it, which is very rare, I would strongly suggest that you put yourself first and think no, because I can guarantee how it works. The person you're in a situationship, let's see it from your angle. You love them. You are in love with them. You want to be with them. You really care for them. And 9 times out of 10, that person that you are idolizing and putting on a pedestal, yeah, she's okay. They're okay. He's okay. Do you deserve that treatment? Do you honestly deserve to be treated that way? And you want to progress into a relationship, and incoming all of the, I can change him, he'll change for me, it will be better as time goes on. Okay. Where's the proof? It's been 3 months and it's still exactly the same. You know what I mean? Sometimes people are so quick to jump into these relationships to distract them from what really needs to happen. And that is healing yourself and starting to love yourself abundantly. Because if you cannot, in the words of RuPaul, if you cannot love yourself, how can you love somebody else? The love that you give out to somebody else is how you wish you were loved. So I love hugely, even all my friends, I regularly text them. If I forget to reply, I'm sorry, but I regularly text them out the blue. Hey, I'm thinking of you. I'm so grateful for you. I love you so much. How are you doing? I love receiving those texts from people. I love getting them gifts. I love being thoughtful. I love physical contact. I love hugging them and kissing them and just, you know, hoping they're okay. I'm such a big lover. I have such a huge heart, even if I am a Scorpio. All right. And I'm a mushy guy when you get to know me. And I think the love that I've reciprocated so far from potential candidates has not been on par with the love I'm giving out. So therefore, I recognize that this is not going to be a good connection for us. You're giving in 3 grams of love. I'm giving in 120. Like, this is an imbalance and it's not fair to you or to me. You go find someone on your level, I will find someone on my level. But circling back, it's certainly an interesting phenomenon that everybody wants a relationship, that everyone craves it, that everyone's like, I'm not going to be happy until I have this. And I keep saying it in this podcast because it's true. A lot of you, and even myself, 6 months ago, listening to this, I'll be happy when I have X. I'll be happy when I have Y. Will you? We can choose to be happy right now in this moment, but it takes a lot of willpower. And I think people often take for granted that there is so much to explore about yourself. Like, over the past 6 months, the journey that I've been on has been absolutely catastrophically crazy. I've never thought so deeply about myself before. And I've never really gone into detail because I'm just so used to giving out love rather than giving it to myself. I hate to break it to you, but a lot of you guys are delusional. I was also part of the delusional community a while ago, but I left. I ran out of the cult because it's not good. It's not good. And people like to sort of, you know, humor it and be like, oh, I'm #Delulu. I think we forget that we are disrespecting ourselves every single day. The more we entertain a situationship, a broken relationship, or dating just a pure asshole. I think everyone now needs to sort of kind of get a grip on reality and realize, I'm too young for this. I have so much life to live. I don't want to deal with this shit. But no, I'm calling myself out here as well. Me 6 months ago, I was so nervous to be like, oh, I'm really not feeling this. I'd be so scared to speak up to them. I don't fucking care now. I've learned so much self-respect for myself that I can literally announce in their face and be like, listen, I'm not enjoying this. You either want me or you don't. And if you don't, I'm going to make my own way. Goodbye. It's been a really, really good connection, but it's not for me. Self-love is one of the most amazing things you can have for yourself. It comes under the umbrella of self-respect and, you know, self-care and putting yourself first. There's a pedestal in your head and a lot of you are putting the wrong people on it. You should put yourself, and this sounds like endless drivel from like those motivational t-shirts you get from fast fashion places, but seriously, if you start removing and booting off everyone who's on said pedestal and put yourself on there and give yourself the treatment you deserve, because as I said earlier, you have so much love that you're giving to this person that does not care about you. Why are you still giving it to them? Look yourself in the mirror and give yourself that love, because love is an endless energy. It's always going to exist within us. Even if you have a black heart and you're awful and you're Scrooge, hell, even he, after being haunted by 3 ghosts, and it's fiction, I know, but it's an example, so walk with me. I can't get grasp of the concept of people who are openly happy to being disrespected. It baffles me. You can call me privileged, you can call me weird, you can say, oh, but you don't understand our situation. Great, you do that situation in your own time. That's you. You're doing yourself a disservice, babe. No one here is hurting more than you on the down low, because what you're doing is you are wanting something from nothing. This person is not giving you anything, and yet you think you're going to have a chance with him. Peace and love, but no, that's not how it works. You think you're going to marry this man. 2 marks. Discuss with the class. Like, do you think you're going to marry this man? I don't think so. Similarly, people always like to rub in the fact that they have the best relationship. Valentine's Day often highlights that, you know, I have the best partner. He did so much for me. They did so much for me. She did so much. A lot of the times, relationships are not perfect. You go into them and there's arguments. There is living with someone that you eventually will loathe for a bit. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. And I think that because people are in these situationships, they like to glamorize it and sort of think, this is going to be the best relationship ever. I think we're consuming too many films, too many rom-coms that are fictional. It's a fictitious outcome. And I hate to break it to you, but reality, relationships are hard work. It's a balance, which the first thing a lot of your situationships, it's not a balance. You're putting in way too much and they're putting in minimal effort, so leave them. Anyways, I digress. It's also about communication. Sometimes you can be an awful communicator and you could be too scared to call them out on something that upset you. I'm sorry, that's not going to work out well for you. You're going to let them just constantly disservice you like that. It angers me. It angers me that people are just so like, oh, it's okay, like it's whatever, you know, we're fine, like it's going to be fine, we're going to work out. No, you're not. And you'll come to realize that, what the fuck, who the fuck is at my door? Hello? Terrifying. My neighbour's child was banging on my door. I fully thought a Victorian ghost had snuck in. What the hell was she doing? Another pillar of relationships is contact as well. It's like intimacy, it's physical contact, it's contacting each other. If you're being left undelivered for multiple days at a time because he's busy, do me a favor and actually move to Jupiter, because what the fuck are you doing? What the actual fuck are you doing? I'm sorry, I hate to be this rude, but you've got to have someone who's got to be rude to you, because I'm judging you right now. I'm judging you just like he is, or they are, or she is. Whoever it is, this person that you are idolizing does not give a shit about you, and you are constantly going above and beyond to try and get a little crumb of attention. And every time you do, you're like a Henry Hoover. You slide in and you hoover it up and you're like, great, I'm satisfied, I'm fed. You're not Emily Blunt in Devil Wears Prada. You are literally starving yourself of love that you deserve. You need to feel loved. And if you don't, stop trying to force it out of them. That is the maximum love that they can give at this point. And if you're happy with that, fine. You live with that, bestie. That's your mistake to make. If you are wise and you want to invest in yourself, which I think we should so do, we need to keep like investing in ourselves and becoming more confident and more strong and more willed, and just, oh my God, I'm passionate about it, because so many people are doing themselves disservices. I'm live on TikTok all the time and people come in and say, oh, my boyfriend cheated on me, but we're going to go and talk things out. Or like, oh, like I've got a new boyfriend. It's been you guys, you don't give yourselves the time to breathe and like chill out and actually get to know yourself, because at the end of the day, if everyone else is on this planet, it's only you. Are you going to enjoy your company? The person we mostly spend time with is ourselves. So start utilizing the time that you do have and invest in yourself, because the journey you can take yourself on if you start investing in yourself is truly unremarkably, I can't even explain it. I cannot even explain it. For example, when I posted that first TikTok video, I felt embarrassed and a bit awkward. And even now, like I look back at it, I'm like, oof. But do you know what I did? I invested in myself. I went against what everyone was saying, you know, oh, that's really cringe, why are you doing TikTok? Because I was doing it in 2019 when it was OG, when it was cringe and weird to do it. I was doing it then, and I posted a video of me acting all posh, like spifulent, all that sort of shit. And everybody, all the people that were commenting were like, this is so funny, please do more. And because I went against the grain and I was like, do you know what? Fuck it. Like, I do accents all the time to my friends on video call, whatever. Like, I think this will be funny. It will lift people's spirits. I'm now living in London. I'm the most successful I've ever been. And I'm continuing to grow. And it's like that, because of that silly little video is where I am today. Because I literally was like, do you want to know what? I invested in myself. And I was like, do you want to know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do this. And it comes into this quote that I use a lot, which is, growth takes place when you are challenged, not when you're comfortable. I've said it in a YouTube video before. It's truly one of the most beautiful quotes, because how on earth can you grow if you stay where you are? For example, if you're staying in this situationship, if you're doing yourself a disservice day in, day out, you're on the hamster wheel of not enjoying your relationship, but you're in one just because you want to be in one. That's not living. That's not a relationship. That's not love. That is just, it's almost toxic, and you are poisoning yourself. You're giving the love it's like giving all your money to the wrong person. And I think what we're all doing is we're idolizing a version of them in our head that is perfect, because if you can conjure that up yourself, you know that's the love that you deserve, but it's not what you're getting in real life. So why are you still trying to fight for it? You're not Cheryl Cole. Just don't do that to yourself, please. For the love of God, do not do that to yourself. You do not deserve to put yourself through such turmoil to get a fucking message back It's crazy. It's wild to me. Now let's get into the more positive area of this. Self-love. I've mentioned it a few times in today's episode. It's a huge concept. I know a lot of it is being very vain. A lot of it is having self-confidence, which might be like, you look like you're up your ass. But do you want to know what? Self-confidence, self-love, and self-discipline have been three major pillars that have completely transformed the way I view myself and my friendships and my relationships. A lot of it came from learning from the lessons, as I mentioned earlier, the lesson that I had with my first breakup, said in quotation marks because I'm not even sure if it was a breakup, but whatever. When I just cut contact, it fucking hurt. Heartbreak is one of the worst things in the world. I would never wish it upon anyone, and it was grueling. It was painful, genuine pain in my chest area. I'm not even joking, but growth takes place when you're challenged, not when you're comfortable, because I wasn't comfortable. Fuck, was I comfortable? It was like going on the most turbulent airplane ride. You're sure you're going to die, but you land. Do you know what I mean? Like you are going to be okay. From someone who's been heartbroken recently, you are going to be okay, and you're going to look back at yourself and want to give yourself a massive hug, because all that comes from this heartbreak is growth and new perspectives and new people that you can resonate with in smoking areas at clubs, and new stories you can tell people in 50 years at dinner tables. And just, if you can romanticize the heartbreak, not in a weird toxic positivity way, but also in a way where you can reflect on it with love and be like, I was really hurt, but I'm grateful it happened because I am where I am today, then that is growth. And that is really, really beautiful. And I think that should be the shit that we celebrate on Valentine's Day, which moves me on to my next point. This year, I'm celebrating the connections I have with myself, my close friends, and even past friends and relationships, because all of which have been the butterfly effect of where I am today. Does that make sense? I am who I am because of a connection I had when I was 6 years old, where I learned what Mario was, and now I love Mario so much. It's minuscule things like that, because that makes up my personality, because now I use Mario music in my videos. Now me and my best friend Chloe, and one of the first things we spoke about was Mario, and now she's like my bestest friend in the whole wide world. These things happen for a reason. And it leads me on to my next thing. Everything happens for a reason. So if you're going through the heartbreak right now, it's not permanent, but it's certainly something that you will get through. So tomorrow I want to spend it alone. My friend is coming over to stay with me, but I'm going to make sure that he goes out with his boyfriend in the evening. I'm going to chill at home. I want to have a nice bubble bath. I want to stick on a film. I want to have chocolate covered strawberries, because that is a comfort food for me. And I want to just reflect and journal on all the people that have given me love in the past, minuscule or huge. And I want to be thankful for every connection that I've had. And then I want to end it off with being thankful for me, because my connection with myself is the strongest bond I will ever have. And the connection that I have with myself is beautiful. And the love that I have for myself is only growing. So I think Valentine's Day should celebrate the love that you have with yourself, and it should be more normalized. I feel like Valentine's Day, if you're not on a date with someone, if you're not seeing someone in the evening, like, oh, who are you going on a date with tonight? While that is very cute, and I will always be supportive of friends that do that, for the first time, I am spending Valentine's Day with someone, and that is myself. And I might cringe saying that, but I feel like the more comfortable I get with this, and the more challenged I feel with saying that, the more growth that will come from it. This will be my 21st Valentine's Day alone, but it'll be the first Valentine's Day alone that I actually enjoy, because I'm not expecting to come home for a cooked meal and roses and a beautiful man laying on my sofa. I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting me to come home tomorrow and have a fucking gorgeous bath, to journal, to watch a film, have chocolate covered strawberries, romanticizing my own life, my mundane life, however mundane you want to call it, and enjoy. And I look forward to that. It's like life's simple pleasures. And do you want to know why it's simple pleasures that bring me such joy? Because I'm doing them. I have no one here to cancel on me. I have no one here to be in my way and invoke their energy on me. And I'm not trying to say that I'm never wanting to get into a relationship or enjoy a Valentine's Day with someone else, but as I've said, I've had every single Valentine's Day alone. And last year, like I mentioned, he was too busy to see me. And I never want to have that again. I never want to have someone who's too busy to see me. So I'm too busy to see anybody else tonight, because I'm spending time with myself. And you might laugh and you might think, fucking loner, what a weirdo. I'm quite content with that. I know that I'm going to have a good night tomorrow. Whereas in the worry and the if but maybe of, is my situationship going to be free tomorrow? Is it going to cancel on me? Like, is he going to choose someone else? Fuck that. I'm not going down that rabbit hole again. It's not worth it. We as young people, I'm assuming that I'm talking to the young people here, I'm begging you to switch your narrative up and invest in yourself and be like, do you want to know what? I'm fucking worth it. I deserve the world and I'm not getting it right now. And also, you're young. We are all so young. I don't care if you're 40, you're still young. You have so much more life to live. Please hear me when I say that. You're not missing out. You're not running out of time to find a boyfriend or person or couple, whatever. You are going to be okay. And sometimes the best thing you can do is, as I've said a million times, invest in yourself. If you can't do that, if you want to spend Valentine's Day with someone that wouldn't really bat an eyelid for you if you were in a fucking house fire, be my guest, do that. But I certainly can't put myself into the shoes of someone that would happily be like, oh, like, he's too busy to see me, but like, he sent me a text saying happy Valentine's Day, so that's all. Fuck that. Don't put yourself through that shit, bestie. You do not deserve that, okay? So just to recap, I'm going to go through the things that I've spoken about today. So Valentine's Day universally has been known as something that is to celebrate your partner. And while that is very true, you have anniversaries. So this Valentine's Day, I will be spending time with myself. Considering this is going to be my 21st Valentine's Day alone, I actually actively look forward to spending it alone. I've got plans, I've got a movie rota, I'm going to be chilling out and having a good unwind night. And also, I'm also jet lagged because I've just come back from LA. So I'm not rushing to go out anywhere. This is also a reminder to those who are watching this who might feel like they are trapped in a relationship or they're in a situationship that they don't want to get out of. Let me ask you something. Do you like the idea of this person or do you like them for them? Do you really think you're going to marry the person that leaves you undelivered for 3 days, or are you just wanting someone to cuddle when you want? Do you really expect to be treated as if you deserve to be replied to after 3 days? Or are you going to be like, no, I'm going to marry him. He'll be 3 days late to the wedding though, but that's fine. That's just so him. Do not put yourself through such disservice just to claim the title of a partner. You are worthy of so much more and so much more respect. The love that you give out to people is and will be reciprocated back to you tenfold, not necessarily by the person that you're giving the love to, but by other sources. And the home and the hub of all of this love comes from you. So direct it back into yourself. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Simple as pie. If, like me, you're also spending Valentine's Day alone, I wish you a pleasant day of fun, treating yourself and doing yourself a fucking favor and saying no to the toxic situationships, saying no to the men that treat us like shit, and actually being our own best friend and investing in ourselves for the year ahead. It is a beautiful practice, although might sound really sad. That is your insecurity projecting out because it's something you can't imagine doing. You're like, why are you spending Valentine's Day alone, weirdo? Well, so are you, but I've got a different outlook to it. Anyways, I'm going to stop bullying you guys. It's been really great talking to you today. I'm really, really grateful for all the support on the podcast so far. Let me know if you like more solo episodes because they are so much more easy to film. However, I have a few more guests lined up that I'd love to share with you all. But yeah, have a lovely Valentine's Day. I really, really hope you have a gorgeous day. Even if you're going on a date with someone, you do you. I'm very happy for you. But this was more for the singletons / situationship people in the podcast realm of mine. So yeah, I'm sorry if you're in a relationship and you've just literally watched this episode and you're like, what the fuck? But don't worry about it. You're slaying. But just don't take any disrespect. And if you do, communicate. And if you continually get disrespect, get the fuck out. Anyways, I'm not a relationship counselor, but I am an influencer and I've got to go and work. So it's been real, guys. Have a lovely Valentine's Day. And I love you so much. Now you need to tell yourself that in the mirror that you love you. Anyways, I've been Dom. You've been listening to POV with Dom, and I shall see you next week. Happy Valentine's Day. Love you.